Hello friends, welcome to the today's session. And today's session we'll be discussing one of the topic that is nothing but the work done during an adiabatic process. In our earlier lectures, we have discussed the different thermodynamic processes. Out of that, we have also discussed one thermodynamic process which is called as an adiabatic process. What is this adiabatic process is all about? In the adiabatic process, the system neither takes heat from the surrounding nor it gives the heat to the surrounding. Okay, so net total heat content during the system, net total heat content change during the this process, dq is equal to 0. So if I want to get some work done during this process, so if I apply the first law of thermodynamics to this process, which is nothing but dq is equal to du plus dw, dq is equal to du plus dw. So as the amount of heat exchange between the system and surrounding, it is 0. So from this one we get a relation 0 is equal to du plus dw. We get a relation du plus dw is equal to 0. So if I calculate this expression, if I take dw on one side, I'll get the expression dw is equal to minus of du. Means whatever the amount of work done I am getting during an adiabatic process, that work done, it is negative of the change in internal energy of the system. Okay, means what? The whatever the work done I am getting during an adiabatic process, it is due to the decrease in internal energy of the system. Okay, so as this is a negative sign, it is coming over here from the first law of thermodynamics. That means this change in internal energy, we have to take it as a negative of that, means its internal energy is decreasing. So final internal energy minus initial internal energy, that is coming out to be negative, and that energy it will be converted into work done. Okay, so due to this one, in case of adiabatic process, if you consider, if you are having an adiabatic expansion, in that case the internal energy decreases, means the temperature of the system goes on decreasing. Okay, so the whatever the work done amount, work done we are getting in this kind of process, that is due to the expense of the internal energy, means in an adiabatic process the temperature of the systems goes down. So for in order to calculate the work done during an adiabatic process, what we will do in today's session, we will be considering a one system. Let us consider a cylinder which is fitted with a frictionless piston which can move up and down. Okay, and in that cylinder, let us consider a n mole of ideal gas, they are enclosed. Okay, n mole of ideal gas is enclosed, so that we will consider first, and then we will go ahead with the necessary derivation. Okay, so first of all, we'll just write down the description of this. Consider n mole of consider n mole of ideal gas, n mole of ideal gas enclosed in a cylinder fitted with a piston, enclosed in a cylinder fitted with a piston. Okay, fitted with non-conducting piston. Okay, fitted with non-conducting piston. Here we are assuming that the surface of the cylinder or the surface of the piston, it is non-conducting, so that there is no heat exchange between the system and surrounding. Okay, so as it is there, so let us say initially our system is at this point A. So we are starting from this point A, where the volume of the gas, it is V1. The volume of the gas, it is V1. Okay, so initial volume is V1. Okay, and we will adjust the external pressure in a such a way that the piston, it will move in upward direction. As the result, a piston will move in upward direction. What will happen is, due to that one, the gas will expand. As due to the expansion of the gas happens, so there will be certain work done. So let us say that we are going from point A to point B. So its volume will increase from from V1 to V2. So it is an expansion of the gas. Okay, during that one, so now I have to do this calculation. For the sake of simplicity, what I'll consider, any intermediate position, let us say we are at the point A. Suppose we, while performing this task, we reached at the point A. Okay, so when, let us say that our piston is moving from with a certain distance dx. Okay, during that this piston is moving with a infinitesimally small displacement an during an infinitesimal small displacement decimal small displacement dx, small displacement dx. Okay, so let us say that the piston is moving from suppose initially the position of the piston is this one. Let us say it was this initial position, and it is moving at a certain distance. So let us say this distance through which this piston is moving, let us say dx. If I consider that this area of this area of this, it is A, then this area and this displacement, which we consider as a height, if I consider this area into this displacement, that will be nothing but A into dx. That will be nothing but the change in volume or the volume increased by the gas. Okay, so here in this case I have represented that volume as an dV. Okay, so the volume of the curve A, B, C, D, it is dV. So during this infinitesimal small displacement, the work done by the work done is given by, so we can write the work done, that is dW. Formula for work done, it is dW is equal to force into displacement. Work done is force into displacement, but we know pressure is nothing but force upon area. Pressure is nothing but force upon area. From this one I can write force is equal to, if I transfer this area from this side to this side, it will get multiplied. So it is pressure into area. If I substitute this in this equation, I'll get dW is equal to F. Value of F, it is P into A dx. P into A into dx. But what is area into displacement? That will be the change in volume we have just seen. So it is P into dV. Since A into dx, it is dV. A into dx, it is dV. That is the increase in volume when piston is moving from point A to point B during this infinitesimal displacement dx. So this is change in volume, it is dV. Now suppose we have calculated this work done during when the piston is moving from point A to point B. Now we have to calculate the total work done, that when we are doing a total expansion of the gas, when my volume is increasing from V1 to V2. So what will happen at that point? Okay, so we are going from point A to B. Therefore, the total work done in moving from A to B, that is my volume is increasing from V1 to V2. My volume is increasing from V1 to V2. So I can calculate that work done. W is equal to integral dW, in which my volume is increasing from V1 to V2. But what is value of dW? It is integral PdV. It is integral PdV. So it is moving from V1 to V2. It is increasing from V1 to V2. Integral value of dW, it is PdV. Okay. But this is an expression which I have similarly we have calculated for the isothermal process in our earlier lecture. Now, as being an adiabatic process, what will happen for adiabatic process? What is the relation for the adiabatic process? It is PV raised to gamma is equal to constant. PV raised to gamma is equal to constant. That is an adiabatic relation for an ideal gas. Okay, but what is this gamma? Gamma is the ratio of specific to the specific heat at constant pressure to the specific heat at the constant volume. Okay, this is the relation for the adiabatic process. From this equation, I can find out the value of P, which will come out to be K upon V raised to gamma. K upon V raised to gamma. If I substitute it in this equation, which is integral from V1 to V2, okay, P, value of P, it is k upon v raised to gamma, k upon v raised to gamma into dv. Okay, now we know that our integral is with respect to v. Okay, so this k will be constant, we can take it outside, so we will get over here integral going from v1 to v2. This is v raised to gamma. If I transfer to the numerator, it will becomes v raised to minus gamma into dv. It is v raised to minus gamma into dv. Now what we will do, we know the standard integral function, that integral x raised to n dx. We know this formula, that if it is integral x raised to n dx is there, we can rewrite this as an x raised to n plus 1 upon n plus 1. Integral x raised to n plus 1 upon n plus 1, that is an integral of a x raised to n. So if I apply this formula for this one, so w is equal to what I will get, k into, here in this case it is v raised to minus gamma, we have to increase power by 1, so it is v raised to minus gamma plus 1, we have to divide by the same number, that is minus gamma plus 1, and the limit of integrations it are going from v1 to v2. So limit of integration, it is going from v1 to v2. Now we will first of all substitute upper limit and then lower limit. So it is k in bracket. So I can rewrite this expression. First of all, I'll just write down this expression. This minus gamma plus 1, I'll write down outside the bracket. I can rewrite this in this fashion. It will be 1 minus gamma. It will be 1 minus gamma, and I'll give a bracket over here. And this v raised to minus gamma plus 1, I can rewrite it in this fashion. V raised to, if I transfer to the denominator, I know that if any power function is on the numerator, if I transfer to the denominator, its power will get a minus sign. So this minus gamma becomes plus gamma, and this plus 1 becomes minus 1, and the limit of integration will remain as it is from v1 to v2. So for this one, what we will do now, we will first of all calculate this value. So it is k upon 1 minus gamma, k in bracket 1 minus gamma. First of all, we will substitute an upper limit, which is 1 upon v2 raised to gamma minus 1, okay, minus lower limit, which will be 1 upon v1 raised to gamma minus 1, v1 raised to gamma minus 1. Now in the next step, what I'll do, I'll give this k inside this bracket. So if I give this k inside the bracket, what I'll get, 1 upon 1 minus gamma, bracket complete. Inside the bracket, I can rewrite this as an k upon v2 raised to gamma minus 1 minus k in bracket v1 raised to gamma minus 1. Okay, so this is the expression. Now what we will do, as we know, for an adiabatic process, what is the relation? PV raised to gamma is constant. We know PV raised to gamma is equal to constant. So if I apply this equation for the first step, it will be volume, in that case pressure, let us say it is P1, and volume it is, let us say V1. Okay, and if I apply the same equation for the state 2, I can rewrite this as an P2, let us say pressure at that point it is P2, volume at that point it is V2, so it is P2 V2 raised to gamma. Okay, so if I substitute this value in this equation, so what I'll get, I can write down from this equation, W is equal to 1 upon 1 minus gamma, 1 upon 1 minus gamma in bracket. For this, I can substitute as it is a final state, so I will write P2 V2 raised to gamma. So I will write P2 V2 raised to gamma divided by, I will write V2 raised to gamma minus 1, V2 raised to gamma minus 1 minus, for this I will substitute the initial state value, that is P1 V1 raised to gamma, P1 V1 raised to gamma bracket divided by, and V1 raised to gamma minus 1 as it is, V1 raised to gamma minus 1 as it is. Now you just have to apply the simple laws of indices, and you have to cancel the necessary terms which can get cancelled. So it is 1 upon 1 minus gamma in a bracket. Now see, it is V raised to gamma and this is V raised to gamma minus 1. We know the simple law of indices. If it is A raised to m, it is there, then A raised to n is there, then simply you can write this as an a raised to m minus n. Okay, so gamma minus gamma, that will cancel. This gamma will cancel with this gamma. This minus 1 becomes, after transferring to the numerator, denominator power will become negative. So this minus 1 becomes plus 1. So what we will get? We will get P2 V2 raised to gamma minus gamma plus 1 minus P1 V1 raised to this gamma minus gamma, and this minus 1 becomes plus 1, bracket complete. So this gamma will cancel, this gamma will cancel. So we will get the work done. Formula for this case, it is 1 minus gamma in bracket, this is P2 V2 raised to 1. So no need to write 1. In this case, I'll get P1 V1 raised to 1. P1 V1 raised to 1. So no need to write down that as well. Okay. So this is an expression for work done. Now what we will do, we know that the adiabatic expansion ratio for any gas, it is greater than 1. So if I calculate this value, 1 minus gamma, it will come out to be negative. So instead of that, what I'll do, I'll write this value in this expression in this form. Instead of 1 minus gamma, we will write gamma minus 1. So if I write gamma minus 1 means I'm taking a minus 1 common from this one. So if I give that minus sign common inside this bracket, it will come out to be, this minus becomes plus and this plus becomes minus. So it will be P2 V2. Okay. So this is a final expression for the work done during an isothermal process. If you want to convert it in terms of temperature, you can apply a relation that PV is equal to RT. You can apply the relation PV is equal to RT, that is P1 V1 you can write down RT1 and P2 V2 you can write down RT2. So if you take R common from that one, you will get RT1 minus RT2. If you take R outside, that will be R upon gamma minus 1. This will be T1 minus T2. So remember this in this case, that when we are expanding the gas, means your volume is increasing. So V1 is always less than V2 because V1 is on this side, V2 is on that side. So whenever you are getting a work done in an adiabatic process, though it is an expansion, the work done, it is coming out to be negative. The work done is coming out to be negative because the work is done by the gas on the system. Work is done by the gas on the system. So that is why in that case, work done during an expansion, it will come out to be negative. And if it is a compression, then your final volume will be lesser. Okay, so V2 will be lesser. So V1 minus V2 in that case ratio will be positive number, and this also positive, this positive will be a positive. In that case, work done during a adiabatic process, it will be a positive number. So you have to remember that work done during an adiabatic expansion, it is coming out to be negative because it is a work done by the gas on the system. Okay, and in case of an compression, the work done is coming out to be positive because it is the work done by the system on the gas, if it is a compression. Okay, if external heat is not provided to the system. Okay, so this is the work done which we are getting in case of an adiabatic process. I hope you have understood this one. Okay, I will come with the next topic in the next session. Thank you so much.